What's good, YouTube? This your boy off of Yahma. We're gonna talk about playmaking today, guys. At first, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I kind of was just gonna do the defense and kind of leave it at there, but I was like, what good would that be to just, talk about defense when we know everything else has something else to do with, your big man build. So, like I say, at this stage in the game, we're gonna sit here and talk about, everything. Because at the end of the day, in the beginning, we went with certain badges and we felt, okay, this would be better, this probably be more effective. But the game, pretty much settled in all the way now. So we know what badges is good. We know what badges, is a waste of time. So, basically it's pretty easier to explain it now. So let's start with Clamp Breaker. Clamp Breaker, guys, I kind of do like Clamp Breaker a little bit, not gonna lie. It triggers a little bit, even though I do have it on bronze. A lot of times, like when I do a little quick first step to go to the rim, whatever, Clamp Breaker sometimes just activates, especially when I step past them, it does activate. So this one, not gonna lie to you, I would like to see this a little higher on the big man. I wonder how effective this would be, but I understand your playmaking have to be up. And to be real with you, what center is gonna have great defense, some finishing and shooting, and also have great dribbling? Like, you're gonna have to balance a lot out, and at the end of the day, you're gonna miss out on a lot when you're trying to balance everything out. So the odds of getting this higher, you're gonna definitely have to lose something, but who knows? Maybe I might make a build where we're gonna figure it out, right? Floor General, as you see on this build, I got a Hall of Fame. Floor General is huge. Like, the animation on Floor General, well, I'm tripping. I'm over here talking about Break Starter. Floor General, let's bring it all the way back. Floor General, anyway, guys, it boosts your team. Like, you gotta think about it. Somebody got an 86-3, or like I play with a guy who runs a 75-3. He usually shoots corners. You gotta think it plus for him, so it's gonna make him hit. And then a lot of people already know they shot, so just offensive boost in general. Like, I feel like this is a huge, especially used on the right team. This is huge. Like, in game, it looks like it's really effective, but of course I played it with it on gold and it still was good. I played with it on silver, and like you say, if your player is good, your player should be good without having Floor General. But let's be real, what can hurt to have a bigger boost to make it even better, right? Handle for days, you don't need this as a big man. Like I say, unless you about to be some versatile big that's gonna be dribbling all over the place. Most of the time, now I can understand if you're in a park, I can see you using these type of badges, but if you're a person that like to play something structured, so like Pro-Am and Rec, really not gonna pull out this badge. So really don't need handle for days. I don't see where it'd be effective for the big man, especially my 7-footers and up. It's like, I don't really need it. Mismatch Expert, you don't need this. Also, like, it's to beat taller defenders, and let's be real, you are the taller defender, so lead us to the guards. Special delivery, I only got mine on bronze right now because had extra points, and I felt why not. Might be a time I come down to come down the court, whatever. And as big man, you're gonna cause a lot of tension. Sometimes people want to double. Sometimes the big man in itself, he draws to you. You might get a backdoor cut by, from someone who has a high dunk or has, who's running aerial wizard. And boom, there you go. You can throw it up, throw them. It's an element of surprise. That's what we're gonna look at special deliveries. Like, for big man, it's more so of like an element of surprise. So I put it on bronze and it'll trigger. It triggers good on bronze too. I see point guards that run on bronze and it triggers. So if you want to run it higher, leave it up to the guards. Big man, you don't really need it at all, but if you want to add the element of surprise, like I say, go with bronze. Bailout, the only reason why I got this Bailout so high is because it was pointless to put my badges in handle for days and mismatch expert. So the only thing I can see me switching this to is like dimer or so. But Bailout, got it on gold. Not gonna lie, this badge, it is nice, because sometimes, as we know, guys, we try to trigger that rise up and we try to get the dunk, and sometimes it don't trigger like you want it to. So you might do some ugly layup, or do something that you don't, some type of stand layup that you don't want to do. So I'm not gonna lie, when you hit that A button and pass out, it's gonna get to the player and it's gonna get to him without the bobbling and all that. So this is another badge that, you know, I call it situational badge. But when it comes in, you know, and handy in that situation, it is big. I can't lie about that. Break starter, #1 badge. Well, one of the #1 badges you need far as for playmaking for the big man. And break starter Hall of Fame. Now, I did have run it on gold at one time. Gold is good, I'm not gonna lie, but Hall of Fame, especially if the person you're throwing to got vice grips also up, it's a real effective one. And then it stops the bobbling. It's like a needle threader, guys. To be real, it's like needle threader for big man, because there's a lot of times I'll throw it and I'll see people go for the steal animation in the air, and they'll go right through their hands. It's kind of like it put them like an animation where they sometimes can't steal it even when they really try. So you gotta really be just on point to steal it when somebody got Hall of Fame break starter. And I noticed it's basically like needle threader for the big man, and it stops the bobbling. Vice grips is big. Now, I was a little scared when I ran it on bronze, but truthfully, the only thing I would say about it running it on bronze, guys, is that when you go for the rebound, when you got it higher, it's sometimes the ball is tipping his hand. He'll do like a tip the ball up a couple of times and then he'll grab it out the air. When you have high vice grips, when you got low vice grips, sometimes the ball just go over your hand. Or sometimes they do that little, I call it that volleyball spike. It's like you jump up and either just spike the ball straight out of bounds. But I'm cool with running it on vice grips bronze, because at the end of the day, I still get over 20 something rebounds. Sometimes I might get 30, just depends. So I feel like what you're gonna have to give up to get it higher, especially if you're trying to have a certain type of build, you're just gonna give up something, guys. You're gonna either make your player slower or he's not gonna be as athletic. It's something you're gonna have to give up to get these higher. So, but vice grips bronze definitely can work because you still have rebound chaser and you do got box out B. So then you got a high rebound in general. So at the end of the day, most of the rebounds are going in your hand. Maybe 1 or maybe 2 might pop out your hand. But you know, we're not tripping on the 1 and 2. I get it in big, and you know, games where it's huge, whatever, you know, it can hurt you. But for the most part, you solid with bronze. Dimer. Now Dimer, I do kind of want to run Dimer. Now Dimer, I do feel will be effective on a big man, and that's the reason why I kind of want to move these badges around, at least try it on bronze, and then you know how you get your extra badge point, you can put it into this or whatever. But Dimer, I feel for the big man will be huge, because the Dimer, guys, think about it. You get offensive rebounds, boom, you kick it to the person, you know, who's open. Let's be real, most of the times they're gonna be open for the corner 3 or the hash 3, whatever you see, whoever you see is open. And most of the times they're gonna hit it regardless, because if you know your shot, you're gonna hit it. But Dimer just add that extra, make sure they hit their shot and they give them that boost. So it's like, it's kind of like floor general passing, basically. Instead of boosting them their attributes just by being on the court, it's the passing version. So basically Dimer, I feel, would be huge to have. I'm not gonna say huge, I feel like it'll be another situational, but I feel like it can really come in handy like a big situation. So Dimer would be a good one. Needle threader, I'm like, I always battle between needle threader and Dimer, but I feel needle threader is a really good one. I feel like don't get me wrong, like threading the needle on the with the pass, because I thought, what if you don't put it on Dimer and put needle threader on after you get the rebound? But then I'm like, nah, Dimer, you know, will make it to the whole thing is you're throwing it to the open man so he can hit the open shot. So Dimer would be a lot more effective. So I think needle threader it's if you want it. I guess it depends on what you want it. Me personally, I'm not gonna run needle threader. I think it's a great badge for guards, but for the big man, I really don't think you're in a situation where you gotta dime up. I mean, who knows? I mean, it ain't too many big man. I get it, you can work the post and then you can do the needle threader, but most big man, you running a system, might be pick and roll and 5 out. You're not using needle threader like, you know, a guard would. So needle threader, like I say, it's a low situational badge. We're gonna go with that. We'll say a low situational badge. Post playmaker, I never use this badge. Like, I get it for people, you know, passing out the post and people who like to work post. I get it. For my post players, this would be huge for y'all, because you know most of the times you're gonna cause attention, especially when you're in the post. But Me personally, I really don't work the post. Like, I mean, I had a build, well, I have builds where I can, you know, do the drop stepper, you know, but I really don't use that as much. Like, I use my drop stepper like situational. That's another thing I use. So going into the post is not really my thing. I'm really more so of a pick and roll, quick slip, catch them off, catch them sleeping, you know, get in the sweet spot, get the rise up activated, you know, stuff like that. So post playmaker, me personally, I feel like it's another situational bag. If you're a player who love post players, then you probably love this badge, to be real with you. But for me personally, the way I play my style, I think it's I'm gonna go another low situational one. You know, for me, it's low situation. I don't think it's a needed badge at all, to be real with you. And pretty much far as for the, you know, all these, I mean, it's simple. Playmaking really simple when it comes to big man. So, you know, this video not gonna be as long as, you know, breaking down some of the other ones. But like I say, guys, just to touch up on the floor general is huge. Break starter is huge. Vice grips is huge. All the other ones, it's just situational. Maybe second. I mean, out of those three, you know, put in fourth, I'll go dimer. But that's really it. It's pretty simple about these playmakers. Not really much to say. Kind of self-explanatory, especially if you run a big man. You understand how it works. Understand what's the strong points and the weak points of running a big man. But that's really it for today, guys. So make sure you guys drop them comments like you've been doing. Hit that notify bell so you can be notified when your boy drop that new vid, so you can be a part of that alpha gang. Make sure you boys hit the subscribe before, after, whenever, on your way out. Just make sure you hit the subscribe boy. Show your boy some love. Oh, another thing, man, we on our way to 1,000. Get your boy to 1,000 subscribers. I know I ain't trying to beg y'all, but get your boy to 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Look out for me. Make sure you guys share. Make sure you hit the like on your way out. And that's really it. I'm out.